Yo, thank you for clicking on the video. I'm Who's Mans. I just like football. I'm here to teach you the X's and O's of the game. I'm not here to teach you the glitches and the exploits and things like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If you guys are new, go ahead, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you never miss an upload. And let's get into it. All right, man. This is like attempt 6 billion trying to record this. But anyway, I'm gonna start talking about what I'm gonna do in the future on this channel, and I'm gonna use this gameplay again because I feel like it was a good learning opportunity. So you're gonna just see little highlights here and there, but yeah, I wanted to kind of talk about the post I made where I was talking about, you know, what I'll go do going forward, talking about like what to do if you're struggling, maybe why I choose certain plays, things like that, because I feel like a lot of people that come out with ebooks kind of give you a host of plays, but they don't necessarily explain their thought process behind it. And I'm not even saying that this air raid thing is a play ebook, because I didn't create the air raid. And bear with me, I'm still getting over this little thing. I don't know what, bruh, it's getting me. As I sip my herbal tea. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't really explain why they choose what they choose. They don't explain what they're looking for. They don't explain a lot of that stuff. So I'm gonna get into that. I think it's important, especially for maybe beginners or players that have just started playing Madden, or maybe even for, you know, some of y'all younger guys that are playing football right now. It'll probably help you understand why your coach is doing what they're doing. But I really wanted to get into that. I wanted to get into oh yeah, I almost forgot too. I need to get into pass protection, pass pro. I needed to get into 4 verts as well. And then after I get into 4 verts, like I said, I'll start doing more gameplay breakdowns and stuff. Once I get this mic, I think I'll start going live again. But yeah, man, like I really wanted to go over the importance of kind of paying attention to what your opponent does, and if you have trouble, you know, figuring out what your opponent does, because I know on all Madden it doesn't show the last play, but understanding what your opponent is doing in game really does help. And it's gonna help in choosing your plays. I can tell you from experience, I had a little rough patch in this game recently, because I don't know, I just was not, like, I was not paying attention at all to what my opponent was doing, and it's almost like I was just stuck in my ways, you know, like I really was not paying attention at all to what my opponent was doing. And it definitely hurt me a lot. You know, I didn't lose every game, but I definitely lost more games than I should have. So, you know, paying attention to what your opponent does definitely, I think improves your chances of winning these games. So, that is something that I would really pay attention to. And I mean, you can kind of see that in this game. I have a philosophy. I'm okay. I am more cautious in my day-to-day life. I don't take a ton of chances. You know, I take calculated chances. You know, if I see that taking a chance could benefit me and maybe not hurt me as much, then I'll take a chance on things. But I'm more cautious. I'm more calculated. So you see that more so in my gameplay. I don't send a lot of pressures. Now, I found a way to send pressure without, you know, blitzing necessarily. I can still send 4 and get pressure. And it's not a glitch. It's, you know, I pay attention to football, so you guys understand that a lot of the stuff I do is not going to be like some kind of glitch. It's always going to be based in reality. And if I do find out that it's a glitch, then I'm not gonna run it because I don't want to have to rely on glitches. But I mean, I feel like understanding who you are and what your personality is can go a long way. I feel like Zando kind of made a video about that before, and it really made a lot of sense as far as like, oh, you know, this kind of guy is more conservative, so he doesn't blitz as much. You know, a guy like Rex Ryan is a very aggressive person, so at least defensively, he's going to send a lot of pressure at you. Brian Flores, another one, I'm not going to say very aggressive, but he is aggressive. He's going to send a lot of cover zero at you. You know, I feel like that your personality leaks into your play calling. So you guys can tell, I mean, I either give up an extremely long drive or I have a long drive myself. And I don't mind having long drives. It helps me understand what your opponent is doing on defense. And then sometimes I feel like it helps me with surprising them with deeper passes. And the same thing goes on defense. I like being more conservative in my play calling. That way, when I do call a blitz, you know, it catches people off guard a little bit more. And right here, also real quick, I need to go over time management because, man, I see so many people lose games because of time management. Just like this, I see so many people lose games because of time management. You know, sometimes I just don't get it. Why people chance certain things when you can have guaranteed points. I'm telling you guys, sometimes just take your points. It's different if the momentum's going your way, you're kind of dominating the entire game, your opponent, you know, is having trouble moving the ball, or they're having trouble stopping you on defense. That's usually when I'll start taking chances, when it's just like, cool, you know what, like maybe I'm up, or even if I'm down and, you know, I'm really grooving on offense or defense, I'll take that chance. You know, I'll go for it on fourth. But like, if I'm in my own territory and you know, if I give the ball back up, it's a guaranteed. I'm punting the ball. There's nothing wrong with punting the ball. I don't know how many games I've seen, or I've played personally, and I've seen even in the MCS where cats lose the game because they just didn't punt the ball. Because I don't know, they think about like possessions or something, like, oh, the game isn't as long, and if I don't go for it and get it, then I lose possessions. And it's like, but you also lose out on points at that point. You know, like, cool, you don't have a possession, but if you can make this person go on a 10-15 play drive and not score points now, then that helps you out. Now I get it. There are certain situations where, like, yeah, you got to go for it. You know, if you're down and it's late in the game and you really need to get points on the board, and if you don't, it makes your chance of winning a billion times harder, sure. But, man, sometimes y'all just need to, like, either punt or kick your field goal. You know, I always see like, oh, getting 3 here doesn't make sense, and I've won plenty of games. I mean, I've posted plenty of games on here where it's like, because I took my 3, it allowed me to not have to play as aggressively the rest of the game. You know, where instead of being down 10, I'm just down a touchdown. Or instead of being down 7, I'm down 4. Right? And now if I score a touchdown next play, if I get a stop and score a touchdown, I'm up instead of tied. It's just little stuff like that. Or I've also seen where I kick my field goal and my opponent, I've had an opponent where I kick my field goal, is like, man, field goals are not going to win you this game. And it comes down to the end of the game. I'm up 2 and he misses a field goal. And it's like, if I didn't kick that field goal and try to go for it and, you know, don't get it, I lose that game. So I'm just saying, sometimes it is okay to kick your field goal and it is okay to punt. Especially, I think it shows more so that you are confident in your defense. When I see people that punt, sometimes it really does, like, okay, you know what, they're confident in their defense and I have to be a little bit more cautious. But if they're going for it all willy-nilly, I feel like it gives me a boost offensively because I'm just like, cool. They're not confident in their defense. They don't think they could stop me. So, you know, now I have just a bit more confidence in what I'm doing offensively. So there are those psychological things. Not to mention, you're flipping the field. So you do punt the ball and they make a mistake early on in that drive. You get the ball back, you know, and you're ahead of schedule essentially. So I don't know. Time management, pass pro, cover 4 verts, and then I'm gonna finish out defense with palms next. I'm gonna get into the split coverages, cover 9 and cover 6. I mean, it's gonna be one video because it's basically the same thing. And then I'll go into man, even though man is not match. I'm gonna get into man because there are some things that I think would help people understand, like maybe why certain players are getting beat in certain situations. So I'll get into cover 1, cover 2, and cover 0. And I will kind of show you guys why I rarely call cover 0. I rarely call cover 0, especially in this game, because I mean the blocking, the route, I mean just footwork in general, and I would say in more so at Madden than college football. College football is not as bad footwork wise, but Madden is so clunky and so slow. And if one of your players, I'm not even gonna say is out of position, but just maybe takes a false step, that false step is magnified like a billion times more than it is in college, where, you know, like, yeah, sure, okay, if I make a misstep, I need to be out of position just slightly maybe, or I gave up a certain leverage. But I feel like in Madden, it's like a misstep is just like, it's guaranteed this guy is open by like 8 yards. Whereas in college football, it's like, okay, he had inside leverage, took a misstep, and now he does not have that leverage anymore. Maybe it's still slightly tight coverage, but, you know, I gave up the leverage. But I don't know. Anyway, that's going to be the end of this video. And you see I win by 3. Stay tuned for those videos, man. And I think you guys all enjoy them. If you have any prayer requests, throw them in the comment section below. And you already know, man. Peace.